Hi, it's the Nimble here. So as I said tonight, I will be discussing what I think around the term what queer sex means, and if we really need this kind of term to describe it. But I first want to open up about trans healthcare with colleges because there's been a lot of news in it, and also today I did a student day on women's health about transsexuality, hence my t-shirt for today, Legalized Trans, which you can get on legalizedtrans.com. I'll post a link in the description. But so colleges such as Brown University are starting to provide healthcare for their transgender students for hormone treatments and surgery and such. And in my women's health class, when we were discussing this, we brought up the point that a lot of the places that are doing this are the universities that have more money in their budget. So a college such as Bullock College I attend is a smaller Rocks college and probably cannot provide this kind of care. But it's also making me wonder what kind of care that Bullock College could offer through our student insurance, even though it's not the best it is, but what they could provide for trans students if they are trying to transition. But also was brought up too is probably the students who are on that health insurance through the universities are more of the upper class queer students because they might have to pay like higher premiums as well. So just check out news articles. Let me know what you think too. I'll probably cover more of this later as more news develops around it. But onto the topic of night, promise is queer sex. So this came about at MIMLA which is the Midwest Bisexual Lesbian Gay Trans Ally College Conference over the past weekend. There was a workshop called Queer Sex 101, and in the description it was like, do you love to talk about sex? You should come here and we discuss like why queer sex is needed, sex ed stuff back then and all that. So I thought I'll go and learn stuff. Instead it turned out to just be kind of like not being sex toys 101. In the beginning they defined queer sex as being anything that's not really seen as normal. And they said like a lot of times like with queers like they focus a lot on sex toys, so they had like this big box of sex toys and they brought them out. And now these two people have worked with Planned Parenthood, and one of them was a sex educator at Planned Parenthood currently, and the one's doing something else right now. So they all professionals in the field. But I was just seeing their books. I already know a bunch of stuff about sex toys as it is. And I was just like, is this really what queer sex is? Just what's out of the norm typically for society and just sex toys? And so it made me think about like, what could queer sex be? And if we need that term, like, is queer sex supposed to cover like using dental dams, which everyone should be using no matter what, even if you're not queer, with the sex toys as well. And also kink and BDSM is usually fallen onto the queer community to cover because usually they're already talking about sex in an open and positive way, and that falls into it too. So my thoughts were thinking like, do we even need this term queer sex? Like, should we just call everything sex? But at the same time, we're not at that point in society, so maybe we do need queer sex in order to start to open up these topics to the greater public. And then eventually everyone realizes sex is sex, and doesn't matter if you're queer to use sex toys, or like it doesn't have to be like queer promoting sex toys all the time and all that. And promoting all this safe sex stuff that I'm doing. But yeah, so I just want to know what your thoughts are on this term queer sex as well. And I do plan on doing a sex toys video blog when I get a chance. I have a very limited sex toys in my own personal collection, so I'm hoping when I get to the Milwaukee area next, I'll be going to the tool shed and I can ask Laura Stewart, who is very awesome, if I could maybe do a blog around there with their sex toys. For those who don't know, the tool shed is a feminist sex toy store. There's also one in Madison called A Woman's Touch, but I have yet to be there, been there, it's like 3 a.m. But yeah, since I'm posting this on Valentine's Day, just to let you know, later tonight for Valentine's Day, I have a special treat. I'm going to be talking about period sex, because periods, the red, it's Valentine's Day, red, and all that. And yeah, such a great thing. So stay tuned from that, as well as today is Valentine's Day, yes, but it's also the campaign for 1 Billion Rising and V-Day. And these two campaigns do stuff with domestic violence and sexual abuse. And for part of 1 Billion Rising, and I'll provide a link for the information on this, is to dance to show your support. So after I'm done with my menstruation video blog, I'll make another separate video of me dancing to a song. I'm thinking about Lady Gaga, Edge of Glory, or maybe Jessie J, Stand Up. So yeah, thanks, and see you soonish.